Welcome to Thomas Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Saturday, hold on, the 12th, 2017, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thomas Talk. I need to fix my little camera here. Oh boy, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Today is top 5. Yes, it was supposed to be on Sunday. We're going to do it on Saturday. So what I'm doing here is that everybody is trying to get to the championship belts. Everybody. And what I think to be the best superstar in the WWE or any wrestling, that how many championships they have, like WWE has their current titles. They have the world title, universal, and the WWE title, the intercontinental, United States, and tag team. But how for everybody to be the best champion or best superstar is to win every single title, even Money in the Bank in the Royal Rumble. But some people, I can't believe it, that there's some people. I found 5 guys that hold every single title, the WWE title and world title. It doesn't matter if it's the world title, world heavyweight, WWE, or universal. All 3 of them are world championships, and they all held the world title, intercontinental, United States, and the tag team when they were part of WWE. There's some current wrestlers and there's some past superstars that held these titles. So, ladies and gentlemen, I made the list because, ladies and gentlemen, it was hard to think of all these guys that held every single title in the WWE. So, my number 1 is Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan held the WWE title multiple times. I believe he held it like 4 times. And he held the World Heavyweight Championship one time. You guys want to say about that? Well, technically 2 times, because the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, he held the WWE title and the World Heavyweight Championship. So, yeah. He held the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title. And then he held the Intercontinental when his last time in the WWE and his last WrestleMania, at WrestleMania 31. He beat 5 other men or 4 other men to win his first ever Intercontinental title, but he forfeited the title, but he still held the title. And in the records books, history books, that Daniel Bryan held the Intercontinental title. And then he held the United States title as well when he first came in the main roster. And he had this problem with his pro, The Miz. And ladies and gentlemen, at the pay-per-view, I believe it was like not United Champions, like Hell in a Cell, he beats, I think it's United Champions. He beat The Miz to win his first ever title, the United States title. I think he held it only for 1 time, and even the Intercontinental 1 time, because he got injured and he had to retire. And the United States, he just lost it to Sheamus, and then he didn't go for it again. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's him winning the United States title, and he won the tag team titles. The tag team titles that kind of we have now, but they're not red and they're not silver, is the one that I have as a replica belt, the penny one. He held that tag team titles. I believe he held it 1 time as Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. They won it against Kofi Kingston. Yeah, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth at Night of Champions. I believe it was 2013 or 2012. He won the tag team titles. Man, the Night of Champions, he's been winning a lot of matches. Even in 2013, he beat Randy Orton. He's good. And number 2 person that held every single title, I still can't believe he did it too, The Big Show. And yes, he won the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title. I think he held the WWE title multiple times. I don't remember how many times he held it, because when I was watching wrestling, it wasn't 1990s or 2000s when he held the WWE title. But the last time I seen him hold the WWE title, it was at Survivor Series 2002 when he beats Brock Lesnar because of Paul Heyman. And yes, he won the World Heavyweight Championship. I believe it's 2 times he held the World Heavyweight Championship. One, he held it for a couple of seconds. I think it was 45 seconds. against Daniel Bryan. He won at TLC in a chairs match against Mark Henry, and then he got cashed in by Daniel Bryan and lost his title. And then at Hell in a Cell 2012, he beat Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship. That was not inside a Hell in a Cell match. So he held both World and WWE title. And then he held the United States title, I believe, like one time. I don't know. I think he held it for multiple times or one time. But I remember he won the title and he lost it to John Cena at WrestleMania. I want to say WrestleMania 20. But I forgot how he won the United States title because I didn't see that part. But I'd seen WrestleMania 20 on the WWE Network or on the past thing, WWE 24/7 on demand. I seen him lose his United States title. And then he won the Intercontinental title with against Cody Rhodes. I believe this was he only held it one time. He held it he held it because he beat Cody Rhodes in a match at WrestleMania 28, and then Cody Rhodes beat him by stepping in the table at Extreme Rules, and he lost it, and I believe he held it like 4 weeks or a month, so that's him. And he held the tag team titles multiple times with other tag teams as well, with other people. I could name some. I don't know he held it in Attitude Era, but he held the tag team titles with Kane, with The Undertaker, The Miz, and Chris Jericho. Yeah, I guess he held it like 4 times, or he could hold it more times. But he held the tag team titles, I say 4 times. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot of tag team titles, and 4 tag team guys, 4 guys he won with the titles. That's awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what I think. That's number 2. Number 3 is the best there is, the best there was, the best there will be. I thought I had 5. I have 4. But I could think of somebody, ladies and gentlemen. We have Bret Hart. He's a former WWE champion and World Heavyweight Champion from WCW. He held every single title as well of the WWE title. He held it multiple times, and I don't know how many times he held it. And he held the World Heavyweight Championship multiple times as well in WCW. I've never seen WCW, so I can't tell you how many times he held the WCW title. And he's a former Intercontinental Champion. I don't know how he beat these guys, only for the United States title. I think he beat like Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental title one time. And it was a great match, and ladies and gentlemen, people say it was a great match, and it was a great Intercontinental Championship match. And he's a former United States champion. The only time he held WCW United States title, and he held the WWE United States title by beating The Miz. And he held the tag team titles multiple times in WCW with Goldberg. I don't know he held it any more times. And then he held it with Jim Neidhart as well. So ladies and gentlemen, that's number 3. And number 4, speaking of The Miz held every single title. He did not hold the world title. He did not hold not every single title. He never held the Universal title. But he held the WWE title. Like I said, it doesn't matter what kind of world title he held. He actually held a world title, the IC title, the US title, and the tag titles. That's the only thing I want. And ladies and gentlemen, he held every single title. He held the WWE title by beating Randy Orton by cashing in his Money in the Bank on Raw. And I didn't like it. It was boring, and it was sucky. And then he won the United States title. I think he beat like MVP for the title. And he held it for a couple months, and it was boring as well because Miz was boring that time. And he's a former Intercontinental and the current Intercontinental Champion. Held it for multiple times, I believe like 5 times. And he beat Dean Ambrose the last time for the title, and now I don't know who his number 1 contender is. Who's his opponent? But ladies and gentlemen, he held that title as well. Blah blah blah. And then he held the tag team titles with multiple tag teams as well. I believe like 3 tag teams 3 partners. He held it with John Morrison, aka Johnny Mundo, and he held it with John Cena for a second, or a couple of minutes. And then he held it with The Big Show as well, holding the United States title. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we did that one. That's number 4. That's The Miz, and he's the current Intercontinental Champion. So he held every single title. There's one more guy, and he's kind of still in the WWE as a commentary, but he's going to get replaced soon by David Otunga, because David Otunga because he was on SmackDown Live commentary, and now the Superstar Shakeup. Now he's on Raw. But he's doing a movie, so yeah. And then here, Booker T. Booker T held every single title. He never held the tag team titles. Not tag team titles, the WWE title. But he held the world title when it was part of WWE. I think he won the King of the Ring, and then he gets a world title shot. I think he gets a world title shot when you win the King of the Ring. I don't know how that works. But he won the World Heavyweight Championship as the King Booker. He won the title there. I believe he beat Rey Mysterio's. I believe he beat Rey Mysterio. I forgot the pay-per-view and I forgot the year. I didn't do my research here, but I know he beat Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's when Rey Mysterio had his first, I think it was at a Great American Bash. He did a cheap way and he rolled up him, and 1, 2, 3, King Booker is your World Heavyweight Champion. He's a former Intercontinental Champion, held it multiple times. The last time I seen him winning the Intercontinental title, I was going to say Judgment Day, but he lost that Battle Royal, and I believe Christian won it. But I believe he beat Christian for that Intercontinental title as well. But I know he's a former Intercontinental Champion. And then he's a former United States Champion. How I know this? Because everybody was talking about the best of 5 series between John Cena and Booker T, the original United States Champion. But ladies and gentlemen, they have a best of 5 of it. He won that. I don't remember. He won it because of Randy Orton. He was injured and Randy Orton won it for him. I think against Chris Benoit. He won it against Chris Benoit, and then, ladies and gentlemen, some way, somehow, he been United States Champion. And then he won the tag team titles. I think he held the tag team titles. I know he held WCW tag team titles with Stevie Ray. I don't know how many times he held the tag team titles in WWE. But I know he held the tag team titles with Goldust. People call him they call them the Odd Couple. So I think I don't know how many times he won. I don't think he won it a lot in there. I think he won it once at with Goldust, or 2 times or something like that. But that's what I think. And that's my top 5. It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, it's hard to think these things through, because how do you know everybody won every single title? Next week is going to be Superstar Fact, and we're going to put a top 5 in there as well. Because I have another one in my mind. I don't know if you guys like TNA or you don't. But we're going to find out, can I find 5 guys that held the X Division, the World Heavyweight, the King of Mountain, or whatever they call it now, the Grand Impact Championship, but now, you know what I mean, and the tag team titles. I want to see, can I find 5 TNA guys that held every single title. Every single title.